What's going on, everybody? Mr. Bitcoin Maxi. We're all Bitcoin Maxis. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to outsmart these scammers. All right? Because here with the Bitcoin Maxi crew, we don't let scammers take our Bitcoin. We don't let scammers take our crypto. All right? Because I've fallen victim to it. And I know if I've fallen victim to it, I know beginners have fallen victim to it. You know, whether they've actually gotten scammed or they're just getting targeted. So today, we're going to cover this topic, all right? Now, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. Scammers love reaching out on social media with fake investment offers, all right? So you guys and ladies have to be careful for fake investment offers, especially when it comes to crypto, all right? They'll post something that says, hey, you know, I've got this great investment, you know, you just need to send me X amount of Bitcoin, you know, how much ever, even if it's a small amount. They just keep collecting from everybody, and it racks up. You need to verify before you send. Always double check wallet addresses. Scammers often trick people into sending to the wrong one, all right? So for example, when I was trading NFTs and I was a victim to a scam, I downloaded music software and my NFTs got taken, all right? And then when I was trying to send crypto from one wallet to another on MetaMask, I noticed that even when I was pasting my receiving address, it had a different address. And I was like, I have a virus. Even besides them, you know, draining my MetaMask wallet, they still were able to infiltrate my computer and change it to where when I posted my address, it automatically changed it to the scammer's address. So I had to wipe my computer. I had to reformat my computer. It was a headache, you know, and that was, you know, a learning lesson for me that I want you all to not have to experience, because it's not fun. It really isn't. It's discouraging. So no one will legitimately ask for your seed phrase or private keys. If they do, it's a scam 100%, okay? So you guys have to be careful, because they might ask for your seed phrase or your private keys, and they're going to say that they need that in order to possibly help you, or they're going to say that they need it in order to make their investment for you. You know, say, hey, I can help you. I can help, you know, grow your investment. Just give me your seed phrase and or your password. You don't want to do that because it's legitimately a scam. Okay, nobody should ever ask you for your seed phrase. All right. So check websites and apps carefully. Scammers clone legitimate exchanges and wallets to steal login details. So scammers are really, really good at cloning websites, cloning social media. When I was trading NFTs and meme coins, right? The social media linked to the scammers, right? What they would do is they would put posts that directly correlated with the real project, okay? And what they would do is they would post the exact same reposts, the same exact comments, and they replicate. And so a lot of people fell victim to that scam. They had the same exact, you know, almost the same exact Twitter handle name, you know, the username, the same exact likes on the posts. And then when you go to the actual scammer's, you know, Twitter handle, it was the same exact followers. It was basically replicated to the T. So you guys have to be careful for that, because I've seen and heard in communities, and I've witnessed it, that people got basically drained and scammed because they fell victim to that fake Twitter handle. And they do it with websites as well. So you have to be very careful for that, all right? You don't want to rush things. Scammers will create fake urgency, limited time offers for investments that are basically closing soon, which prey on your emotions with fear and greed, so you will fall for it, all right? So I don't know if anybody has ever seen, I've came across it on YouTube, where, for example, Michael Saylor might be talking, or Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin, I think is his name. I don't know how to say his name properly, but they have AI videos of them talking. And when they're talking, they're basically in the comment or in the post, it says send 2 BTC, or 2 Ethereum, and I'll send 4 back. Limited time offer. So you guys have to be very, very careful for that, because those AI videos, and they use AI clones, will create a sense of urgency for you to do it with those limited time offers. I've seen that, and it's very, very convincing. I'm not going to lie. It's very convincing, and I don't want you all to fall victim for that. So that's one example. So, all right, you want to stick to reputable exchanges. Now, the ones that I highly recommend are Coinbase. Again, make sure it's the real Coinbase exchange. MoonPay is another one. Robinhood is another one. You guys want to make sure that it's the real deals, okay? And you guys aren't going to get scammed, because when you get scammed, a lot of beginners, when they get scammed, I've heard about it, they get discouraged. They buy like $500, $600, $700 worth. They go all in, maybe throwing a couple $1,000, and then they get discouraged because it was a scam website. And they're like, you know what? I'm not investing anymore. When it could have been just a simple thing, just to verify and double check and take your time and be slow. You want to a big thing is you guys want to protect your emotions, especially in the crypto space, okay? Because we all know, and if you don't know, you will find out if you're a beginner, that crypto is always moving quick. Prices are always fluctuating really quick, going up and down really quick. So, one thing that I had to learn to do was control my emotions, whether the prices are going really far up and my gains are crazy, or whether it's going down, my gains look like they're suffering. However, I like it because I can buy more, at a cheaper discount. But that's the one thing that I really stress to you guys in this video, and ladies, is protect your emotions, okay? Breathe. Sometimes if you have to walk away from the computer or the phone, walk away, If you see something that's, enticing, somebody's posting something, it's pretty much a scam, all right? Just on this YouTube channel, to let you guys know, when I started it, the first few videos, I had to have my moderator, my manager, already go and set it to where filter out the spam, because there was already comments in there like, hey, I need help, here's my seed phrase. Comments like that you want to stay away from, okay? Please stay away from those. And another big one is you always want to use two-factor authentication and strong practices via exchange accounts and emails linked to your crypto. So big one is ensuring that you have two-factor authentication set on all your exchanges for text messages. You want to make sure your emails are secured, all right? And a big thing that I recommend is do not post your wallet addresses inside of your emails, okay? You don't want to do that, because first, if they hack your emails, that's going to be a way that they see the wallets that you're linked to, all right? Because if you have two-factor authentication on your, for example, Coinbase, or Binance, any exchanges, you have two-factor on, they're going to verify it, all right, through a text message, and that's another big thing, is you have to be careful for those text messages. Sometimes you'll get text messages as well on your phone, because sometimes the exchanges get hacked, right? And then the user data gets pulled. So what happens is they'll hack these, scammers will hack the exchanges, and then they'll sell the data to a bunch of scammers, and then that's how you start getting calls. Like for me, I got a call 2 weeks ago from a fake Coinbase guy, and he sounded very legit. He's like, we'll never ask you for your password, He's like, I need you to go into your account and do this and do that. And it sounded like legit. But then I finally realized, I was like, I've been in this space a long time, and Coinbase wouldn't be calling me like this. And so I hung up, and I was like, no. He kept calling. He was blowing the phone up. And I was like, nope. And so anyways, I don't really buy from Coinbase. But That's an example I'm trying to give you guys, is they're very good at what they do. You know, they have these tactics that are preying, you know, on you. And then you'll get emails, for example. Another one I've seen is emails where they'll say, hey, you know, you won a bunch of crypto, you know, send it via PayPal. And if you guys ever see any type of crypto related stuff when it comes to emails, text messages, you know, do not click any links. I stress this to you because that's one way that these scammers get you to fall for things. They'll send links in messages to you. They'll send links, you know, in comments, like on YouTube. And there's another one tactic that they use where they try and say a certain person helped with investment advice, like in crypto. So they have one bot basically that's like, hey, you know, like, you know, John Smith, for example, helped me get my crypto. Or there's another one that says John Smith helped me triple my investment. And you have to be very careful for these things, okay? Because here, the Bitcoin Maxi crew, we're not going to let these scammers take our money, take our crypto, you know, because when they do, they won. And that's, you know, your hard-earned money gone. That's you trying to stack for your financial future. And are we going to allow these scammers to come in and take our crypto? No. So if it's too good to be true, it is. And so before I end this video, a part of the two-factor authentication and securing your crypto, all right, I want to show you guys this. This is what I use. I use a ledger. Link is in the description. That's the official link, all right? And so you guys can buy one of these, which I highly recommend. And you guys, it'll show how much you guys get, but you guys will get, like, even if you don't have any crypto right now, right? Or you guys have it on exchanges, Coinbase, which I'm going to get into in a second. But you guys want to get one of these. This will save you from getting hacked. As long as you don't show anybody or tell anybody your seed phrase from this. Because what happens is, say for example, I'm a family member of a friend, and I see your seed phrase, I don't even have to tell you. I can go in and buy one of these, and then I can take your seed phrase and basically import it onto the new one, right? So I can go in there and hack your account if I have your seed phrase from this. So never put your seed phrase where anybody else can see it. And that's another important thing I want to cover before I end this video, is be careful about who you tell that you're investing into crypto, all right? You all don't know that the stories that I've heard that are legitimate, where family has scammed people out of their own family members' crypto, and it was a lot. I've heard it a few times, people I personally know, so you have to be very careful for that, all right? Scammers can come in all forms of people. They can come in friends, not just online, you know, where people are targeting you with, you know, enticing investment offers, enticing, you know, fake, you know, send me 5 Bitcoin, I'll send you, you know, 10 back. Things like that. It's not just that, it's family members too, all right? So you have to be very careful about who you're telling you're buying into crypto. So I want to come on and make this video. Thank you all so much for the subs and becoming a part of the Bitcoin Maxi crew. We are growing at a crazy rate already in the 6 days that I started this channel. Thank you all so much. I will be coming out with more videos, of course. Let me know in the comments the type of scams that you have seen or you might have fallen victim to, or that has contacted you. Or just let me know your guys' thoughts. Mr. Bitcoin Maxi, we're all Bitcoin Maxis. Take care. Have a good day.